It's Friday morning and we're just doing the last few little bits of packing, getting ready to set off for the Roundhill Campsite in the New Forest, where we're meeting up with Chaz and Liz. Now, this is a booking that we had to change from a few weeks back in June when we had COVID. We're booked on the site for the Herman Fest event with the Herman Hits the Road channel, Ads and Zoe. But of course, because we had COVID, we couldn't go. So I contacted the campsite and they said I could rebook, but I could only rebook once. Yeah, not that we want to postpone or cancel this weekend, but we couldn't if we wanted to. This is our one shot at rebooking the site. So we'll get these last few bits done and then we'll get on the road. Well, our first stop was at Morrison's to top up with some supplies, but now we'll get on the road with serious intent to get down there. Well, the journey started off well enough, but soon we were being diverted onto some back roads due to an accident that had happened at the Black Cat roundabout. So there were some early signs that it was going to be a bit of a sticky journey down to the New Forest.
Traffic is getting worse. You are still on the fastest route. You will now arrive at 1424.
And once we were on the M25, we did indeed hit a few jams, and yeah, we sat in traffic, never really stopped, but we sat in slow moving traffic for quite some time. Oh dear, this wasn't fun at all. Finally, the little town of Lyndhurst, nearly there. And there we go, we have arrived at the Roundhill campsite. It's a camping in the forest, camping and caravan club site. And we've chosen a pitch. We're round by the entrances to the rally fields. The rally fields are padlocked. I think that's where the Herman Fest event was, but they're padlocked today. So we can't go in there, but we're round near the entrance to them. And I don't think we're going to bother with the awning. We might put the sunshade out. But we've got the bikes off and Nikki's gone off, hopefully, to get an ice cream.
Donkeys are migrating over here. I think that was a donkey then.
Chocolate on my shirt.
Can you actually believe I can't get an ice cream out of the wrapper?
Right, looks like we're off on a bike ride. Hello, mate. So this is our first real solid test of Nikki's bike after the bike shop's repair of their previous repair. And yeah, it seems to be holding up all right so far, and she's very pleased to have it all back working again. The New Forest is full of lovely cycle trails, all surfaced in sort of a gravelly sort of finish, but still pretty civilised tracks and okay for Nikki's bike. We're not going to go too far though, because we're expecting Chaz and Liz to arrive very soon, and we don't want to be too far away because we need to make sure we can find each other on the campsite. Always lovely to see the New Forest ponies as well too. Look at this handsome foal, fantastic. The deer were a little bit more elusive, harder to get a good bit of video of. Yep, Nikki's bike is definitely back in action.
Where are you going taking shortcuts?
Well, after Chaz and Liz arrived and set up their motorhome, we settled down for quite a quiet sort of afternoon and evening of just chatting and watching the lovely New Forest ponies amble through the campsite. The next morning I woke up quite early, so I came out of the van and settled down into my hammock, which I'd bought off eBay for a very reasonable £8, I think. And what a splendid purchase it was. Very much enjoyed laying in the hammock and watching the early morning antics of the horses and the birds and all the nature around me, really. Clarence soon woke everyone else up though, and had to have his ball thrown for him quite a lot, really. And then it was time for another cycle ride, and this time Chaz came with us. And the batteries on both my bike and Nikki's bike were holding up well. We'd probably covered about 6 or 7 miles the previous day, and this ride we covered about 10 miles, and yeah, the batteries are still going pretty strong. Plenty of capacity left when we got back, so yeah, all seems well again. Chaz had a go at descending this rather steep embankment. And also going back up again. You never know. And soon we're back to the campsite. Really do recommend the Roundhill Campsite. We loved it. Bags and bags of space. There could be loads of people on the campsite and you still find yourself a nice quiet corner. The wildlife just wanders through. The New Forest ponies just wander through. And yeah, it's a really lovely, peaceful place to be. Of course, we had great weather as well, which certainly helps.
In the middle, buddy. In the middle. That's not the middle.
That's not far off the middle.
Is that the middle?
Now put your legs up.
Oh shit, no.
No. Come on. You should know how to do this.
I've never. Last time I was in the hammock.
He's not a sailor.
No.
That's just a Caribbean thing to do a lot of the time.
This ain't HMS Trafalgar, you know.
More than saying that. There you go. Now put your legs around it. Be fine.
That's it. Oh. Oh, get over.
There you go.
I didn't trust it.
That's it. Oh.
So that's nice, isn't it?
Got a cushion for your head.
Nikki tried out this trolley thing we found in the loft for the wastewater container. It was a bit less than ideal. Sort of worked, but maybe something better is in order. Bit of marinating.
Bit of marinating going on here.
You sort of disappeared into it.
Of course, that's what you do. This one's not as big as some of them. You completely disappear.
Look at that, then. And of course, all too soon it was time to head home. But I've got a feeling we'll be back on the Roundhill site in the very near future.